On Community Radio Kilkenny City 88.7 FM. The time is coming up on 11 minutes past 2 o'clock. It's Mick Cummins you're tuned to, and I'm here until 4 o'clock today, and I hope you'll stay with us. We have lots and lots of great music. And speaking of great music, joining me in the studio today we have Emlyn Holden of the Southern Fall. Emlyn, you're very welcome to the studio again today.
Thanks, Mick. Thanks very much for having me.
I was delighted to see recently that you put up on your Facebook page and other bits and pieces that you're working towards a full-length album, your first full-length album.
First full-length album, yeah, that's right.
Great to see that happening. And whereabouts are you in regards, if somebody was to grant you the money in the morning, would you be able to go into the studio and get it sorted? Or
yeah, pretty much. It's written. I was probably working on it for the last year and a half or thereabouts, I'd say.
Excellent.
So always writing songs, and then you realise somewhere along the line that you have a certain group of them work well together.
Yes.
And you go, there's an album. So then you try and pull that together. That's part of the game, I suppose.
Yeah, and it is a game, really. And can you talk through? We often have a lot of artists in here, and talking about putting together an album or an EP or a single and so on. But I don't think those of us who are, I suppose, not involved on your side of the music, as a singer-songwriter, what is involved in actually putting an album together?
You mean from the first time you sit down and write a song?
Yeah.
I suppose maybe everybody's different, but my way of doing things, I guess I just write songs, and then somewhere along the line I start to see a theme coming out of it. Or I might have something you're experiencing, or something you're going through, or whatever like that, and you're just kind of in that direction for some reason. You're just your mind is in that direction, and then you start. So some of the songs will kind of jump out at you. Then you're going, like the way I write songs, like the lyrics are more like stream of consciousness kind of thing. So then I'll start making sense of what's going on. Some songs, there's a theme, they're working together. So I might say 50 songs, but you might get 25 that you go, well, they're all going to tell a story if I put them together. That's all going to be fairly cohesive. And
that cohesion, do you think that came or comes, in your subconscious when you're right? Because I suppose it is your experience, so they are being tied together, I suppose, in some way with regards to your life experience. So there has to be a thread between them all anyway. Yeah,
I think there is, but I think some just seem to really be closer together.
Yes.
Whereas you'll write other songs that might be about something else, a different emotion or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of based on an emotion, I guess. And you might have other ones that are a little off that, onto a different path or something like that. So you're kind of like, well, I'll put that aside for another time. And there'll be other songs that go with that one or whatever. And you just kind of, it's like you just put them together that way. They kind of stand out themselves, and they sit together well, and the sound sits together well. You think, well, that'll work. There's a good sound off that. There's a good.
So the importance as to where they fall in place, on the back card of an album, that's important as well, I think, isn't it?
I think so.
It's how you want people to listen to the album for the first time, and it's that story you want to tell and for them to hear.
Yeah, I think for me, a lot of times you start off with the first and last song. They'll tell you the songs, you'll go, well, that's a great last song.
Okay.
Well, that's a good way to end an album. If I was listening to an album, that'd be a cool way for that to end. And then there's like a certain song, you want the first song to grab people straight away. You don't want to grab people halfway through the album, just in case they got bored and turned it off before that. So there's always a first song that speaks to you. So this is definitely the first song.
The first song is the hook, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely has to kind of say what the album's about and what it's going to sound like. I think that gives a person the idea straight away what they're in for, so it'll interest them or it won't, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess that way for me, I start with, I'll just know when I hear the songs back. I'll just make little demos at home, and then I'll put them on an iPod or whatever. I'll leave them on the computer, I'll listen to them, and I'll mess around with them. I'll change the order, and I'll see what I like. But it's always, for me, I start with the beginning and the end, and then I fill it in.
Fill it in then.
Yeah.
Excellent. You have, as you said, a lot of music then in the last year and a half or so that you have been writing. Is there anything you can play for us today to give us a feel of what's up and coming?
Yeah, sure. We've been working on our gigs lately. We've had a couple of people helping us out, so we've turned it into a full band
Excellent.
So we had a couple of the lads from the Midnight Union Band with us. Keane and Brian have helped us out. And
Fantastic.
we have Jamie Fitzpatrick, he's a local drummer.
Yes,
so he plays
Jamie,
with us.
yes.
Yeah, he's a great drummer.
He's a fantastic drummer, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Very passionate, very...
And a real, good timing, strong.
Yes.
Keeps that backbeat going.
Yeah.
Great, So some of the songs for the new album are more in that direction, a full band, and
Excellent.
some of them are kind of like maybe a bit of a jam type thing. Some of the lads were saying it reminded them of Crazy Horse, kind of that kind of, so there's that.
So
And then
it's a bigger sound then, is it?
some of it is, yeah. And then some of them are more stripped down. So I think because it's just me and a guitar, I'll go with a stripped down one.
Excellent.
It makes more sense.
Excellent, absolutely.
So this is a little, I suppose it's kind of a country song, and it's called God is a Ghost. So I'll give that one a go for you.
Okay, you're listening to Community Radio Kilkenny City 88.7 FM, and this is Emlyn Holden, and take it away.
Okay. Days getting shorter, the nights creeping in. The light in the window is weakened and dim, but your spirit continues so withered and worn. In a soul full of living, and a heart full of gold. And people, they strive the ways hard and long, and hold their heads high though forsaken and wrong. Through the coldest of winters and darkest of light, with a soul full of living and a heart full of life. Sometimes I wonder if God is a ghost, if angels live least and devils live most. When the pure-hearted truth gets cut down by the blade of a soul full of dying and a heart full of hate. And people will strive all the ways hard and long, and hold their heads high though forsaken and wrong. Through the coldest of winters and darkest of life, with a soul full of living and a heart full of life, with a soul full of living and a heart full of life.
Wow, fantastic. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much for that. You were just been listening to Emlyn Holden of the Southern Fold, and this is Community Radio Kilkenny City 88.7 FM. I do have to take a break. We have to pay the bills, as they say. I hope, Emlyn, you'll stay with us. We'll talk a little bit more to Emlyn, maybe listen to a little bit more. So stay with us after this.
Community Radio Kilkenny City. Something for everyone.
You're listening to Afternoon Outlook with Mick Cummins. Yes, you're very welcome back. The time is coming up on 25 minutes past 2 o'clock. Mick Cummins with you until 4 o'clock today as usual. And joining me in studio is Emlyn Holden of the Southern Fold. Emlyn, that song that you sang there for us, God is a Ghost. We were just talking there kind of during the break that it's a song that kind of resonates, I think, with a lot of people in Ireland nowadays. You know what I mean? That as you put it, like, you know what I mean, that the faith, all faiths, I suppose, have been tested in every way. You know, of late, a lot more than it has been, I suppose, in previous, you know, years and generations. Like, I mean, is that where this has come from?
Yeah, it's probably part of it. I think there's a few different angles on that whole God is a ghost. The lyrics, sometimes I wonder if God is a ghost and if angels live least and devils live most, because there's so much suffering in the world. And you wonder, like, where's this person who's supposed to save everybody, and why are they taking a break at the moment? You know, so many innocent people suffer, and not just now, forever. Yeah. So sometimes you sit down, you get tired of the news. The news is full of, it's usually not good news.
No.
Somebody else is suffering. Somebody's trying to wipe out somebody else, and you know, sometimes.
And unfortunately, that's the kind of news that sells. So that's the kind of news that we hear all the time. You know what I mean? Which is unfortunate. I know of late you have, you know, a lot of the bigger stations, whether it's radio or TV, are trying to finish on good news stories because people are feeling it. You know what I mean? We've just come out of major austerity. You know, a lot of us outside of Dublin are still feeling the impacts of that.
Sure.
You know, so I think they're trying to do their bit, but bad news still sells, you know.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, unfortunately, bad news is also reality. It's there, it's happening.
Absolutely, yeah.
People, you know,
you don't have to travel far to see it or hear about it, you know.
Not at all. So it does, definitely. I mean, if you're if you're interested in what's going on in the world around you, you're going to be affected by it. It's right on your front door, and it's somewhere else. People are, you know, running away from something all over the world these days, you know. So you just wonder, like, it'd be nice to see a few angels rather than devils for a while, you know.
Yeah, no, it would be, and in fairness, there has been a few, you know what I mean. But again, few and far between, you know. When you look at the balance that's supposed to be there in life, you know. Yeah,
the way things are now with, you know, Trump's America and all that stuff, you know, all these people, it's you know, I knew there was always a right wing there, but I didn't realise there was so much of it left. I didn't realise it was
as powerful.
Yeah, now they've all crawled out from under the rocks, and the world has changed completely in the last few years, I think.
It has, you know what I mean, and not for the good.
I think, at all.
You know what I mean. When a world sits up and expresses its anger, like, I mean, you only have to go onto any social media, you know, platform, or pick up the papers, or listen to the people talking on the street, and hear about people who were never interested in American politics or never interested in world politics are now voicing an opinion, and that opinion isn't good.
No.
Do you know?
No. And it's scary, because whoever comes later on is going to have a lot of cleaning up to do anyway, and hopefully somebody will come and clean it up
sooner rather than later. You know, for all of our sakes, I think. You know what I mean. And it's my personal opinion, but it seems to be the opinion of a lot of people. But what struck me there, just in that small conversation that we had, is that when it comes to the likes of yourselves writing music that is based on your life experiences, those songs then become the kind of the litmus paper, or the rings of a tree, in the sense that, you know the layers of rock that people can tell by listening to it afterwards, kind of a barometer of what was happening in your life, what was happening in the world, because that's what's influencing this, isn't it? Yeah, I guess it's kind of like a page from a diary. Yeah, in a certain place and time. Exactly. And it's there forever for anybody to tap into it. And if we were to look at, you know, all the music that's out there from the word dot to now, you know what I mean, we could probably look at the world's history. Yeah. By delving into one of those rings, pulling out a few tracks and listen to what they're, you know, so
Very true, yeah.
And there seems to be that kind of way now, you know what I mean? The new music that you're bringing out and other bands and you know, singer-songwriters bring out, there seems to be that tone, you know what I mean, of I won't say doom, but you know what I mean? People are worried, and it just seems to be a lot of that.
Yeah, I'd hate to say, sometimes like your lyrics or you know, you can write songs and they seem kind of deep and maybe a bit dark, but I'd hate to be delivering a message of failure or doom. It's just be aware of that. You know, this is what I'm aware of. I'm not really preaching to anybody or anything like that. I'm just, this is how I feel. I'm aware. I still feel optimistic enough that I think, you know, the human race will turn around and fix it, you know. So I never lose faith in that, like, really. But definitely you can't watch people suffer and not have something to say about it, or try and do something or make somebody aware. So
some of us don't have the gift of being able to put that down into lyrics and putting it out so beautifully, like, you know what I mean? So we turn to
everybody has their own way of trying to make the world a better place, hopefully, and that's all you can do. Everybody tried to clean up their corner. If everybody did that, we'd have a beautiful world. Yes,
that's a really nice sentiment. Really, really nice sentiment. I hope you're going to play something else for us. But just before we do, I'm going to go to the weather, because again, it's something that I have to do. So bear with me.
Unity Radio, Kilkenny City 88.7 FM.
Now, if you just joined me, Emlyn Holden from the Southern Fold is in with us today, and we're talking about the up-and-coming album that they're working on at the moment, and we'll talk a little bit after, hopefully, this track that Emlyn is going to play about where they are and where they need to be and how they're going to get there with regards getting this album to, I suppose, to print is the word, isn't it? You're going to play us another track. What have you got for us?
I think I'll do a song called Hold Back the Sun, and it's another one that's written for this album we're trying to create. So
excellent. So these are exclusives that we're getting?
These are exclusives, yeah.
Brilliant, fantastic.
So even I don't really know them, but we usually do this with a bit more of an oomph with the band or whatever.
Yes.
So I'm not used to doing it on my own, so bear with me, we'll see what comes of it.
I'm sure it'll be great.
All set?
Yes, in your own time.
Okay. Unnerve in the way that you hold fear and mystery, sparing the truth with a cup of his blood and the lie that you so deep in misery. Sun, let the rain fall down, dim the light, shine in love and divinity. Hold back the sun, let the rain fall down, dim the light, shine in love and divinity. light shining low in divinity. Hold back the sun, let the rain fall down, dim the light shining low in divinity.
Stunning. You said bear with you on that one, but I can't wait to hear that with the full sound. But I have to say that was incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Do you know what I mean?
Thanks
Absolutely
so much.
incredible. But again, I there's something about one man and his guitar that, you know what I mean, that I absolutely adore. You know, and I love hearing the full sound of a band, but I also like to hear, you know, those alternative,
the stripped
down versions of them. Like, I mean, because that's where it originally came from. Like,
that's true.
You know what I mean? It was you and your guitar, and you know, I a lot of the times people get, you know, bands, especially people who are kind of new to the scene, tend to go all out on production and lose that.
The heart.
Yes,
of it.
The heart of it. Yeah, it becomes the production rather than the message, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit partial to, you know, the guitar and the man himself, like, you know.
Me too. I think sometimes less is more. That's definitely something I carry with me anyway. You know.
Yeah.
When it comes to the whole production of it, I like something real simple and natural. Keep it, you know, sounding pretty real. You want it to sound like you do when you're in the room. If you're in the room with the band, if you make your record sound like that, then you know.
Yeah, and again, as I did, that tends to get lost a lot of the times. Like, I mean, so, but I think that comes with experience.
Probably.
You know,
Yeah.
it is. I think it is, because again, it tends to happen. But any of us, when we get into a new venture, whether it is picking up a guitar and playing for the first time, or recording for the first time, you want to go all out. You want to make the sound to be the best, and sometimes you hand over that control a little bit too much to a producer or to you know, somebody, you know, behind the desk, rather than staying true to your heart. But
exactly. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear the whole album when it comes out. Like,
great, thank you.
Speaking of the album, the name that you've come up with it. For the proposed name, I suppose it's not finalised yet, is
Bible Fear.
And that name, where does it come from?
Bible Fear is like it's an alternative term for hierophobia, which is fear of religion and religious imagery and all things glorious and all that larger than life things. So I've never been too comfortable with that kind of thing myself, even since I was a child. I'm not particularly crazy about religious imagery or anything like that. It's all a bit too big for me. So it's I had that in my head, and then I realized I had written some songs like Hold Back the Sun, and that song came from like when the news came about all the babies buried in tomb. And I was like, what human beings can do with a message. Like, if there was a guy called Jesus Christ and he lived here, he told everybody to love each other, then somebody took it over and basically destroyed what he was trying to accomplish. So you've got the church takes the light of divinity and, you know, takes away the sun, reigns. So it all came together. It was like Bible Fear is more like you're kind of afraid of organised religion or a church or whatever, what they can do. They have the power to do so much good, and yet, you know, they can take it and they turn it around, they do so much bad, you know. So I think that's kind of like the common theme. You know, I've never been comfortable with the idea of man-made institutions anyway. I mean, I'm much more like for being spiritual and having your own belief and just appreciating everybody else's too.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, and like there is, we are, I suppose, we are a country that is predominantly Catholic and with great deep beliefs, and you don't take anything from anybody who does and who needs and who wants that.
If it saves somebody, if they need religion and it comes and it helps them, and that's what I'm saying, that's what it should be about. Unfortunately, it not always turns out that way. So,
No, that's the way. Now, speaking of the album, you're in the process of. So you've started, and the reason why I kind of, you know, got you in here was to let people know that the next step for you guys is to I suppose fund the album. So you've taken the step of GoFundMe campaign.
Crowdfunding thing.
Crowdfunding. So you're looking for people to kind of help out, basically.
I mean, it's not the easiest part of the business. You're asking people for money. I love creating the music and playing the music for people. But when it comes to the business type side of it, it's not my thing at all. So I always feel really uncomfortable asking people to do stuff but the bottom line is, and it's the same for lots of musicians, there's not much of a financial return on being an original musician.
Yeah.
If you're going out and you play covers and you're playing in wedding bands and stuff, there's plenty of money, but if you want to write your own songs, put it out there, there's very little.
Yeah.
So every band finds themselves kind of stuck as a means to go forward. Like it's been over 2 years since we put our EP, and we self-financed that one. So we're it's time to do something again, but it's very hard to afford to do it. So the idea of the crowdfunding is basically a pre-order. So you're asking people to order the album up ahead, and then we can make the album. Basically, it's almost reverse. So
but it's not as a concept. It's not a bad idea. Do you know what I mean? Because people are still getting their money's worth. Out of it. Like, you know what I mean? And they're getting to help.
Exactly.
Local artists and to get where they need to be.
Yeah.
It's just not a bad thing.
It's a good thing, I believe, and the good thing about it is too, like, when you run the crowdfunding thing, you get to offer different amounts of money that people can donate, and you get to give them extra stuff for different types of money. So you get to come up with your own ideas. Like, we have things like handwritten lyrics and T-shirts and posters.
Yes.
So like depending on the amount you give, the different types of things you can get in return. So it's kind of fun that way too, because everything you get is going to be a one-off, or it's going to be handwritten, or it's going to be signed, and you can be guaranteed you're the only one that got that exact thing, say, or whatever.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah, so hopefully makes it a bit more palatable to people, that they don't feel like they're just throwing money out at you or whatever. So, and
then when you become superstars, the T-shirts or the personalised bits and pieces become, very, very valuable.
Yes, exactly. That's it. You never know.
Yeah. But even, I think it's a nice touch. You know what I mean? My sister was involved with a band, and Vickers Vimy, and the lads have kind of relaunched themselves again. And I went down to the launch a couple of months ago, and it was nice to see the guys doing something similar. Do you know what I mean? It was personal.
Yeah.
The album that they brought out, it was done by, the artwork was done by friends. You know what I mean? It was produced by friends. It was, it was all that kind of, and it was it was done by themselves. Do you know what I mean? Everything was done by themselves.
Very DIY.
Yes. Yeah. It is, but done nicely as well, and it stands out. Do you know what I mean? That piece of work stands out, that it is theirs and solely theirs. There was nobody in the background wearing a suit and tie saying, well, this is what sells.
Exactly.
This is what we need to put out there. You know what I mean? So staying true to themselves
very
in every
authentic
way. Yeah. But it is tough.
Oh, yeah, it's very tough.
It's very tough.
I think when I started, I was a bit more naive. I thought, like, if you just go out there and if hopefully you write good enough songs, and if you go somewhere and set up a gig, people just automatically will come and listen. But it's not that easy.
No,
it's not that easy to get the support and to be able to afford to travel to get the support and all the things that go
with
it. It's a tough business for sure. It's just the love of it that keeps you driven.
Speaking of travelling, you know what I mean? I've been keeping a close eye to your Facebook page and stuff, and you've had a lot of gigs of late, which is great to see. And you said the Fuller Sound, and is that Fuller Sound working for you? Is that, you know what I mean? Is that
it is. We played Van Tastival, Bloom in the Park in Phoenix Park. We played a gig in Clears a few weeks ago, and for some reason it's just clicked really well. Everybody enjoys playing with each other, and
that's important.
There's no egos or any that kind of carry on, and everybody is able to do their own thing without anybody else having to worry about it. And I love that, because I can just do my part, and all the other guys in the band are going to do theirs, and I'm secure in the knowledge that they will, and everyone seems to enjoy it. So they all like the songs, and they like the new songs I brought over, and I think I've probably enjoyed these gigs the most of any gigs I've played. So it's been good therapy as well all around, and so it's been great. Long may it continue.
And where's next? So the album, I suppose, you're working towards getting that GoFundMe. Where can people find out that information?
Well, if you look on our Facebook or whatever, I'll put it up there a lot. If you want to go directly to it, it's on fundit.ie. So that's fundit.ie. And when you go into that, you just, in the search bar, just type in the Southern Fold, and it'll come up. You'll see Southern Fold, brand new album, and all the details and what to do or whatever. So it's fundit.ie.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And any gigs coming up?
This Saturday we're in, I think it's Macroom in Cork.
Oh, excellent.
It's a thing called the Townlands Carnival.
Nice.
And then on the 5th of August, I'm going to do just a solo thing over, I think it's Lenihan's Bar over near the Army Barracks.
Yes. Yeah, beautiful spot actually, yeah.
Yeah, it is. And they do this thing there. It's like a songwriters night, and they do it on bank holiday weekends. So
it's become very popular actually. Yeah,
really. Yeah, so Tom Lonergan is one of the guys that's involved, and he asked me to do it, and Richie Healy's involved. So I said, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. It'll be great crack. So that's the next couple of things right away. Anyway, I'm not sure what's happening after that, but take it as it comes.
But all the information will be going up on your Facebook page. Anything that happens, people can be informed by logging on to your Facebook page, and that is the Southern Fold. We're quickly running out of time. We might have time for one more if you're up for it.
Sure.
I'd love to hear another one from you. I'm trying to get as much out of you as I can. My apologies. I thoroughly enjoy having you in here and playing music.
My pleasure.
So what next have we got for us?
Well, I think I might just do a song that we had on our EP, if that's all right with you.
Yes, absolutely. I thoroughly enjoyed all the music that was on that.
Okay.
And I actually have it here in front of me.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
How much time have we got?
10 minutes.
All right, okay. Well, I might do a song off the album called Death Country.
Excellent.
And thanks a million for having me again, Mick. Appreciate it.
Very, very welcome.
Thanks for supporting us and letting the people know what we're up to.
And that's what community radio is all about.
Much appreciated. Okay, so I'll give this a blast for you.
Cheers.
Trials. We had 7 hells to crawl through, but we did it with style. Yeah, we did it with style. And there were reasons left to believe in. There was time left to lose. There was true to life and death country, and broken-hearted blues. There were broken-hearted blues. And the wayward path you're walking on, that hard life in your hands, you can plan it all to watch it burn, or leave it to chance. You can leave it to chance. And the one thing that you're offering, that heart on your sleeve, you can make it real and make it true, but you'll still watch it bleed. Yeah, you'll still watch it bleed. All the songs you sing in love, all the lines that end in rhyme, you can read between the lies and truth and understand in time. To the promises of what you thought was real. You could spend your whole damn life being a slave to this dream, to this dream. forget all this falling down in vain. Well, the soul of man may never die, but it sure does feel pain. Yeah, it sure does feel pain. And the wind, it blows into your face, and the air is hard to breathe. Every man should know when it's time to stay and when it's time to leave. When it's time to leave. All the songs you sing in love, all the lines that end in rhyme, you can read between the lies and truth and understand in time. Hold on to the promises of what you thought was real. You could spend your whole damn life being a slave to this dream, to this dream.
Excellent, excellent. And that is A Dead Country, and that is featured on the EP, The Southern Fold, True Ascension from The Wayward Pat, released, I think 2016 it was released.
That's
in
right,
Emlyn.
yeah.
Yep. And that is available for anybody to purchase. And just to remind then, anybody that wants to help out the lads from Southern Fold, you can go onto their Facebook page. All the information is there for the GoFunded, and you will get something very, very nice in return for that. Emlyn, thank you very much again for coming in, and keep in touch. Let us know how things are going.
Will do.
And drop in a copy and we'll give it a
Be
first
happy
spin.
to.
Is that all right?
To. Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Emlyn Holden, thank you very much. We're going to take a break. We'll be back after this.
Community Radio Kilkenny City. Something for everyone.